So, welcome everybody. We are in our September session, and today's session is really all about gathering our strengths, creating a new beginning, allowing ourselves to move forward. And sometimes, just being a former school teacher, I kind of like to leverage the energy of September because it always felt like a fresh start. It always, it always to me going back to school felt like, oh, we've got another chance at doing things differently or doing things in a new way. So I'd love to invite you, whether you believe in it or not, I'd love to invite you to consider that you can leverage this lovely fresh energy of September, of going into this last part of the year to create whatever it is you've been wanting to create, to experience or bring to life anything that you've had your mind on. It doesn't matter what's happened in prior months. Today in our session, we're looking at getting unstuck and being able to move forward, gathering our strengths to move forward, no matter how long it may have been taking you. So I like to start these sessions with a gentle grounding exercise, and that's what we'll do now. And then I'll just set the table a little bit with the subject, and I'll open up then to questions, comments, anything you'd love some coaching support around. So just join with me now as we close our eyes. And I never quite know what's going to happen in these meditations, but they're usually to the point and powerful. So just allow yourself to be guided here. Just trust in the process. And with your eyes closed, just begin to take some deep breaths. And set an intention here that this part of the clinic would support you in energetically opening up to move forward, in energetically getting this new start, this fresh beginning. Let your breathing just begin to move to the count of 4. In through the nose, 2, 3, 4. And out through the nose or the mouth, 2, 3, 4. Keep that rhythm going, that rhythm of 4. Feel your belly rise and fall. Feel yourself beginning to sink into the chair or the bed or the sofa. Begin to relax using that breathing in a slow, conscious way. And in your mind's eye, just imagine roots now coming from your feet, down through the ground, down into the underground, and right down to that rock at the bottom of the earth. Wrap those roots around that rock. This rock emanates golden light, the light of our true nature, a healing elixir. See that light now moving from that rock up through the roots, through the underground, through the ground, up through your floorboards and into your feet. And send this golden light now all the way up through your body. See it moving through the feet and the ankles, through the shins, to the kneecaps, the back of the calves, the back of the legs, up through the buttocks and into the spine, through the front of the legs, up into the hips, up through the torso, through the back of the spine, all the way up to the neck, through the front of the body, all the way up to the throat, up through the face, through the back of the head, and out through the hair, down into the shoulders, down through the upper arms, the lower arms, and out through the fingertips. Your whole body is now enveloped in this healing elixir of golden light. Just bathe in that light for a moment or two. Receive its beauty and its miracle. And now, just from where you are currently settled, get a feel for, from your own wisdom, what fresh start are you needing or looking for? What new beginning wants birthed through you? And just see that vision of yourself on the other side of it all, completed, taken care of, done, achieved, accomplished. And I will just set a prayer here, dear Spirit, that each person on this coaching clinic, listening now and in the future, would be infused with greater motivation to follow through on what they really want to do. Please infuse your spirit and your energy within us, that we would have the strength and the inspiration to move forward. Give each person this new beginning. Give each listener this second chance. And remove any insecure thinking, especially that which suggests it's too late, or we're not good enough, or we're not meant for it. Please remove all levels of insecure thought and replace that with the thinking you would have us think about ourselves and about the direction we want to go in. Let this moving forward be effortless in whichever area our heart desires. And give us the wisdom, give each person the wisdom to know exactly what the next action step is. Dear Spirit, may each person's mind settle as a result of listening today. And may they be given right of way with the fresh start, the new beginning that they're looking for. Amen. And just receive that. Just a powerful blessing. Sometimes the greatest thing is when someone who has faith in your potential speaks a blessing over you. And now just once again, noticing those roots coming from your feet, down through the ground, down into the underground, and right down to that rock at the bottom of the earth. Wrap those roots around that rock. Feel yourself centered and grounded, able to listen deeply and see clearly, gently moving your fingers and your toes and opening your beautiful eyes slowly as you come back into this room. If there's anything that you want to write down, now's a good time to make a note of anything that you have experienced there. So just to set the table a little bit, knowing that we have really anchored in a way forward energetically, spiritually just now. You know, just to set the table here, oftentimes our insecure thinking about how long something is taking us is getting in the way of any sort of action in the world. So we want to catch when our little friend Bob, the drunk guy, is showing up in our head in the form of, you're taking too long, you should have done it by now, stroke, you're not going to be able to do it anyway. Because that is just a level of thought that keeps us stuck, you know, keeps us in a rut, has us going around in circles. And when we don't see that that is nothing more than thought, when we actually pay attention to that and make it mean something and keep giving it a lot of attention, when that happens, you know, of course we have the same cycle going on. I want to invite you to see that sometimes there's wisdom in procrastination. Some of the things that I just have beaten myself up about getting around to didn't need to be done at the time that I thought it needed to be done. In fact, there was a divine timing to it all. And then other times, I've, like every other human, can get caught in the trap of just paying attention to Bob telling me I don't have the strength, I don't have what it takes, I'm taking too long. You want to know the difference between where you're plugged in. Because sometimes, truly, your procrastination isn't procrastination. It's wisdom's way of getting you ready to be ready for what you're going to do. And you're going to be guided to that season of implementation. The opposite to that is being plugged into that insecure thinking, knowing that, you know, you want to act on something, but you keep talking yourself out of it, or rather, Bob keeps talking you out of it. So because you want to get discerning, how do we get discerning between, well, am I really supposed to be moving forward with this, or am I just talking myself out of it? If you're asking that question, you're busy minded already. Your only job right now is to come back to center as much as possible. Because when we are centered, when we are taken care of, when our minds are better rested, that question falls away. And we're either acting on what we know we want to do, or we're realizing and noticing, okay, this is Bob, insecure thought talking me out of it. I don't need to listen to that. So, confusion, being in a spin, being in a rut, all invitations to settle down that busy mind, to wait well on wisdom to speak to you or to move you. In terms of taking too long to gather our strength, well, that's where you've heard me say before, there is an entire network wanting to support you, a spiritual network. I've described this as a spiritual team. You might describe it as just non-physical energy. You might describe it as just a supernatural motivation that you weren't expecting. But I'm not joking when I say some days I wake up and I say, you're going to have to move me on this one because I can't do it myself. You're going to have to limit me because I keep overdoing something. You're going to have to stop me because I can't stop myself. You can be in communication with the energy that is available to all of us, asking for support, whether it's God or it's an angelic realm or it's a loved one or it's just a knowing that you have that there is universal energy available and you deserve to receive it too. You can be in communication with that. One of the ways that I'm in communication with that is through prayer. But what is prayer? Well, it's really just asking. And I will ask for things right down to the smallest detail, however tiny or however silly it seems. I will ask to be guided on just about anything and everything. So that's no different. Nothing's too big or too small to ask for. It's no problem to this universal divine energy for you to ask for help to be moved forward with a project or to be given exactly the right information to get you to your next step on something. And most of all, for your strength to be gathered, gather my strength, please. Gather my strength and give me the hopefulness, the direction, the inspiration, the motivation to complete this, start this, go for this, follow this, endure this, achieve this. So often we are efforting through life all on our own. And I've come to learn over the years that getting out of the way is the easiest way for things to get done. And how do we get out of the way? We simply ask for that support. And we learn to trust and see the evidence of that support showing up. So you can be in communication, being supported this way. And it's a much nicer way to operate. And nothing is too unimportant or too big. I'll give you a most recent example for me. You know, was really just trying to discover some things about my health. And I simply went to bed asking the question, show me what it is I need. Show me what it is I need for this specific situation. And I kid you not, I woke up hearing the word selenium. Now, my intellectual mind, conscious mind, could not have come up with that word. What is that? And I looked it up and I discovered it is something that many people are deficient in, and it is something that supports the system in general, but in my issue, a thyroid, a kind of a low energy. And that was just such helpful information. Selenium. Okay, let's get some more selenium in. I had to go and do a little bit of learning and research after that. But it's an example of, you can ask and you will know it. You will know it either through your own wisdom or through information that comes to you on the outside. So let's get out of the mindset this autumn that it's all on us to figure it all out, or it's all on us to trust exactly what the doctor says, or it's all on us to trust exactly what the coach says, or it's all exactly what the bank accountant says. It's, you have access to all of the information in the universe that you need. And part of that is just being somewhat more available for hearing answers, receiving guidance, seeing the way. So a fresh start and moving forward and having your strengths gathered is less about getting down to business. Now it's September, and getting these projects finished or started and getting back into the swing of things. No. It's more about having a rested mind, being in communication with the energy that is available to all of us, receiving the guidance, acting on the guidance, and where you feel super stuck, inviting in a supernatural energy to move you forward. Waiting well on this wisdom. Now, how is that sounding to you? And or how can I bring this into a relatable form for you specifically? Questions, comments, something you're working on, you'd love some support around. Anybody like to kick us off? Danielle, were you wanting to come on?
Yes, thank you. Very cool what you times the idea of waiting well and being well rested. I think I wasn't. Well, no, I know I wasn't in the prior months. And then after some vacations and just being able to actually get my mind at ease, I actually feel rested. Like I actually feel rested. And I actually feel like it was intentionally time that I was supposed to be waiting. So I've been waiting for like, I've been waiting. But you had mentioned earlier that perhaps like I'm supposed to be waiting and also now being better rested to receive what I've been asking for. And I feel that actually, like I actually feel like I am ready now, and only can I now look back before the start of the summer and realize how frantic I was, and I couldn't get myself out of that. So what you said just really resonated with me, and I feel on this emerging precipice of some amazing things that are going to unfold. Like truly.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I love that, Danielle. And I love that you could even recognize when you were frantic. You know, most people don't recognize when they're living like that. And yet it's not a judgment piece for any of us. It's an actual piece of helpful information. Oh, I'm frantic right now. I'm going to step back. Oh, I'm anxious right now. I'm going to step back. You know, like there's such it's a game changer. So it's great that you're in the space you're now in, and I wish you the best with your direction. I didn't hear a question. You were just giving us an overview, right? Okay, because you broke up at the beginning. So I'm really, really pleased. Thank you for kicking us off. Anybody else? No question, no comment is too silly or too nothing to be nervous about. Mandy.
I think I've just realized something, that I'm quite good at asking, but it's almost like I have one ask, so I better use it well.
Oh,
So if I ask and I get given direction,
yeah.
I'm then on my own from then on. And I realize how ridiculous that is as I'm saying it. But it's a bit like I'll keep my card in my pocket until I really need it. Or I'll ask, this is what I do if I'm walking around the streets of London, I'll ask for directions, but two things. One, I don't hear what they say, I'm not listening. And B, I forget almost immediately and don't realize I can ask someone else. I can ask again.
Yeah.
So that's what's just come to me now. It's like being the asking all the time.
Wow. Yeah,
it's not limited, is it?
No way. No, you should hear the number of things in the space of a day that I ask for help around. But it's so interesting. You're waking up to saying, oh, that's the game Mandy's playing. She thinks she can only ask once, you know. And it's like, gosh, so God's unlimited. The universe is unlimited. It's sort of like if you can really begin to see, and I know sometimes I sound woo-woo when I say this, but if you can really begin to get a sense of, there's a whole world of non-physical staff in the wings awaiting, ready to work for us. And you might be familiar with them or you might not be. They, you know, and you might be spooked out by that or you might not be, but just begin to play with that energy as much as you feel comfortable. And yet we could never run out of things to be asking for help with. And that energy could never run out. It's unlimited. It could never say, well, hang on, Mandy, you've already had your 3, you know, requests today and that's it, you know? So great insight, very helpful to everybody. And I very much doubt you're going to keep operating on just one card, Mandy. Your life's going to get a lot easier. Ornella, lovely to see you.
Great to see you, Grace.
What's your comment?
Yes,
or
so I am going through a challenging time physically. I'm having hip replacement within the next couple of months. And I find it hard when it's pain and discomfort to get out of the funk that causes. So I'm trying to look, you know, I listen to your words, and I'm trying to look beyond to after I've had the surgery and I've done the rehab, and I'm in much better shape. But it's a very challenging to get through. So I just wondered what you thought.
Well, listen, I feel that. I feel you there. I think physical sensations are, we're seduced by them. They're just a toughie, Ornella. So
Yeah.
I don't want you to try and I would invite you not to have thinking that you shouldn't have any sort of physical discomfort, or that it should be better than it is. That's what I want to say. I want to invite you to consider that you're going to be so well supported going through that replacement, and it's a bit of a bitch in the meantime. Sydney Banks had cancer, and they said to him, well, Sydney, oh my God, you got this cancer and blah, blah, blah. And tell us about it. And he said, it's a nuisance. It's a nuisance. He wasn't trying to improve his experience of cancer.
Right.
He wasn't trying to hide it or boo-hoo it. And I thought that was so refreshing, because, the physical is part of us being here as humans. There is a drawback to that. We are going to feel discomfort at times. Now, what's really interesting in the research, Ornella, and I'll try and find the book where I read this, or the resource for you. But what's really interesting is people have different experiences of pain based on their state of mind.
Yes, I follow, there's a book I've read, and there's a Facebook page that I'm part of that talks about that. Yes. Yeah.
Now that's hopeful for all of us, because that again points back to, if you can get a rested mind, I don't mean more sleep and 2 massages a week. I mean a less frantic fan belt going on about the discomfort.
Right.
Right. If you can get a little bit more rested in your mind, your experience of the pain is going to be different to what you might expect. And sometimes you just might notice the pain is really, really bad at times, as an indicator that, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
You see? So, great that you're here. Great that you're flooding the consciousness with some truth that will no doubt help settle. And it's a nuisance, but you're going to be so damn well supported going through that surgery. Get your team around you. Invite your team each day, invite your team into the operating theater with you.
Yes.
I mean, when I can't sleep sometimes, I will simply be in conversation with my spiritual team, help me settle, help me go back to sleep here. When I wake up, let me feel so refreshed.
Right.
Let me feel good. It's kind of just getting us out of the way, isn't it?
Yeah, and
very
I mean, I do turn to my spiritual team a lot, and it does help. But I think I've gotten into an emotional funk lately, where the pain has got me down about things that aren't even necessarily true, and I need to rely on them more. Yeah.
Well, and again, the pain it's no doubt debilitating. And yet you can take care of your mind. You might not be able to change the pain right now, but you can take care of your mind. And that will have a direct impact on the pain versus this pain is really bad, so it's got me down about other things. That's like it's the other way around.
Right. Right.
Right. But let me know how you go.
Okay.
When is your surgery?
Thank you, Grace.
Yeah, you're welcome. When is your surgery?
The beginning of November.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then,
Hi there. I just thought I'd share an interesting experience. I was part of your Living Miraculously course this spring.
Yeah.
And just as that course was finished, I ended up applying for a position that I really wanted. And I was, in a way, so positive and thought for sure that I had a good chance of getting it. Well, I didn't get it, and I didn't even get invited into an interview. So that was a bummer. But I didn't really mind very much. I thought, well, there is a meaning to everything, and so I didn't go into like a very much of a negative reaction from the decline. And then I ended up buying an apartment that I had kind of been thinking about moving, but hadn't really. I had considered it, but it wasn't really, at the point of doing it. And then suddenly this perfect apartment came up, and so I bought that. And then I had the summer without work to put my own house into cleaning up everything after 20 years of family life, and which was quite a bit of a job, and then putting it on the market. And I had viewings of the house last week, Wednesday and Sunday. And then on last Monday, the bidding for the house started. So I was very much in contact with my whole spiritual team and communicating with them along the way about when the viewing was going to happen, that the weather was going to be nice and that it was going to be good and everything. And it turned out perfectly. And then during this bidding process last Monday, the real estate agent called me and said, "Oh, I think we're reaching the maximum here now. I think this is where it's going to stop." And I said, "Well, we can hope for a miracle." And he said, "Sure." And then we hung up, and we were going to wait until the limit of the last bid. And then like 3 minutes before the limit or the time was running out, a new bid came in. So he said, "Oh, a miracle." And then it continued up to a point that I was happy with. And this was last Monday. And then I had ordered the moving truck on Wednesday, which of course, if it hadn't all worked out on Monday, that I sold my house, moving on Wednesday wouldn't have happened. So I could stick with my plan, again, communicating with my spiritual team to help me along, and to really just trust the process. So it's been, in a way, overwhelming, the whole thing of moving and clearing out of a big house, and but I've just kind of been living in in the moment, doing one thing at a time, trying not to think about everything at the same time, but just like do one little thing. And another funny part of it was the company where I applied for the job. I didn't get the job, as I said, but now in August, one person had resigned that had a position that I really like. So I was supposed to start this yesterday, Monday, to start up in what you call a temporary work there until like at least for Christmas, for this position that I really like, working with people with mental health issues and at something called the Fountain House. And they sent me a text message last week asking, is it okay if we postpone your start until Thursday? And I was like, yes, another little miracle. So I had 3 extra days to really get settled in my new apartment and still clearing out the rest of my old house. And yeah, so I just wanted to share because there's just been so many beautiful examples of what you point to, Grace, with with all these little things happening, and now as far as a new beginning, both the new apartment, starting up in a new position, maybe opening up for meeting someone new in my life, a new partner. So I feel like I'm really in a good position in life. So I just wanted to share that.
Oh, well, thank you, Annette. It's very hopeful for everybody. And it really speaks to life supporting us. You know, we don't even have to manipulate the calendar. Life supporting us by, somebody canceling or
Yeah.
I don't know, like 3 extra days because life knows what you need in order to get settled. And so often innocently, when we don't think that life is on our side, we're kind of like efforting through and worrying about how we're going to do it all, and maybe we're going to have to like call in sick in order to. And it's like, no, life knows what you need. Sit back, relax, and focus on the things that you're wanting to put your attention on. And that's what I hear you did beautifully, and you're noticing the miracle. This is how they grow. It's no surprise to me that it started and you noticed it, and then the next one came and you noticed it, and then another one came. That's how this works. You get in the swing of your noticing, and you'll find there's a lot more to notice. So good for you, and I'm really pleased for you to be in that space, Annette. And Annette just mentioned there living miraculously, and that is, for those of you that don't know, that is a wonderful group program that is starting again next Monday. So I'm going to post a link for you all here because you all get $100 off the program if you are joining for the first time. And if you're not joining for the first time but you're alumni, you have a completely different rate. So in case you are wondering what that is, and if you'd just like to live miracle followed by miracle followed by miracle each day, that program is certainly the place to get into that momentum and enjoyment. And the community is just fabulous. So I'm just going to post it for you now, since Annette brought it up. Thank you for reminding me, Annette. As long as we can find the chat box, there it is. I hope this works. If not, you can always message me if you want a link. But we start next Monday, and that runs between, well, it's an 8-week program. It's an 8-week program, so September to mid-November. All right, Charlene, lovely to see you. Come on.
Hello. Oh, I'm so happy that I have been able to join you today.
Me too. Tell us soon.
I have a comment rather than a question, I noticed how much I was thinking and overthinking about things based upon this belief that this is my responsibility. I need to handle this. If I don't handle it, nobody else will handle it. And, you know, really listening to you talking about allowing your spiritual team to support you and really sinking in actually to this knowing that I am really loved and really taken care of, and that I can relax
Yes.
has been so wonderful. Just before I joined you on this call, I was conducting an interview, a live stream. And after the live stream, I was kind of really happy about the interview. And I noticed that I was kind of frantically moving around the house doing housework. And I was like, stop, just breathe. There are many things you could be doing, but just breathe. And that's when I got really, really present with our call. And I just want to say thank you for the work that you do. And I really feel like it's an invitation to love and an invitation to knowing that you are really loved that much, that the things that you want, there's like 50 billion ways for you to receive it, and that I can actually relax.
Oh, that's beautiful, Charlene. I can really feel you've heard that on a deep level.
Yeah.
Like that's a game changer, you know? And listen, friends, it doesn't matter if you want to call this spiritual team, or you want to call it life, or you want to call it God, or you want to call it universal energy. It's whatever you connect with. But it is exactly as Charlene has described. It loves you. It is you. It wants you to grow and succeed. And frankly, you know, most of us are, you know, we're women here that are, you know, we're not living in the 50s anymore, but we still want an easy life. We still want, you know, people to do things for us, you know, to show up in the way. This energy wants it. This energy is the best husband you could ever have, or partner you could ever have, because it really wants to be in service to you. Right? So enjoy it. And Charlene, you've really brought into words, you know, exactly how this energy supports us. You know, just was it just yesterday or the day before? You know, I woke up and I had a lovely day ahead of me, but I was in worry about my day. I was in worry about, am I going to be doing too much? Oh gosh, can I juggle it all? And I was having a nice day. Like I was going to be having my fitness, and then I was going to be having lunch with a friend, then I was going to be at the beach. And then in the evening, I was going to be doing an introduction for someone to a wine producer at a private dinner. This was a beautiful day. But in my head, I was scaring myself, partly about the next coming days, and partly about would I be able to manage all that in a day. And then it just occurred to me, what if everything you do today could just elicit even more well-being? And that's what I asked for. Life, spirit, energy. Thank you that I have a lovely day ahead of me, and help me be in the experience of greater well-being in each activity that I'm in. That's exactly what happened. It was a restful day. It wasn't a frantic day. It could have been if I kept scaring myself. It wasn't frantic. It was enjoyable. It was easy. And it was really getting out of my own way, handing over the thinking and asking for that energy that is pure love to come through. So, you know, we don't need to worry, friends, about gathering our strengths. We don't need to, we have the supernatural strength available when we ask. We don't need to worry about, are we procrastinating? Why are we not doing what we say we want to do? All that noise. We have access to being moved by life in exactly the right way. And the more we can begin to, as Charlene described, relax and trust that. And if you're feeling even a half an inch more relaxed from today's session, trust that. The more that we can feel relaxed, that, you know, there's something working through us, and there's something around us that's guiding us and protecting us and, you know, taking the load off of us. That is us. Okay, it's all one. I talk about it as though it's kind of out there different. This consciousness is all one. We're not separated. But if we can begin to rely more and more on getting out of the way, asking to be supported in a certain way, that's how we're going to experience life. Effortlessly, easily, calendars being, you know, designed in a way that we have extra time to move into our new home. You know, menus, as we open them, no longer having confusion about what to eat, what not to eat, what to have, but rather just a blessing and a prayer before you look at it and asking, you know, show me what to eat whilst I'm here today. Right down to tiny things, parking spaces, subject lines, exact words for my marketing, please. Right? Like, whatever you're with, a blessing upon your relationship. As I go into this conversation with my partner, let this be easy, clear the way, bless the situation. Driving, go ahead of me. Thank you for going ahead of me and keeping me safe on the road, getting me to my destination in the easiest way. Money. Thank you for the abundance that's arriving. Thank you for what I'm seeing right now. Thank you that my business is prospering. Thank you that clients are finding me today. Health. You know, bless my body, bless this hip. Thank you for the flexibility. Add your healing, give me your healing. Give me a rest. Thank you for a rested mind. Sleep. There's no subject that's off the table when it comes to the love that is available. Nothing's too big or too small. Nothing's too frivolous. And as Mandy has shown us today too, you don't just get one go at this. You don't just get one ask per day, thank God. You see? So I hope this has stirred some possibility or a feeling of gentle hope, aliveness, maybe inspiration for you having the strength to move forward with whatever you're up against, whatever you'd like to have the most help around. Okay. And I see Claire wrote to me, do you have a meditation recording to connect to the spiritual team and ask? Claire, I have so many meditation recordings over on the YouTube channel, so I'll just post a link when this goes out. Likely there's a very specific one as well, but my YouTube channel holds a lot of, you know, former meditations. And sometimes clients write to me and say that they just wake up in the morning and they listen to something on my channel and that's them set for the day. So, you know, please, everybody, feel free. Oops. Feel free to subscribe there or to be over there and to be checking out content, which includes the meditations. There's the link. And just one final shout out. Yes, Living Miraculously is going to start next Monday, and my group mastermind is starting next Wednesday. So if you'd like to be in this conversation more deeply around a thriving coaching business, really any business, but a thriving coaching business and effortless life, you might be interested in that mastermind offer. So I'm going to give you that link as well. You can check that out. Past participants of this particular group have really found their unique approach to their service in the world. And I marry the practical and the spiritual. So whilst there's some practical elements around, you know, what you can do to move the needle forward with your business, especially around how you're communicating and selling, there's also a highly spiritual aspect, which I think you all get a flavor of when you come on the coaching clinic. There's a flavor and a deepening of, you know, just really letting these principles guide you in life. Okay, so check those out. I know I bombarded you all with links there, but check those out and do get in touch if there's anything you want to ask or be in communication about. So thank you for your presence today, everybody. I'm really looking forward to seeing you next month, first Tuesday of the month, and the topic will come out a few days in advance of that. All right, lots of love. Thank you for being here.